Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my first podcast ever. This was something I just decided to do on a whim. I wanted to push myself creatively, and I'm just in a weird space mentally, and I think it would be a good outlet for me, especially because I love doing creative things and trying new things, I guess is the best way to put it. I want to push myself out of my comfort zone, and I think this is definitely the way to do it. If you don't know me already, my name is Bree Littlebear. I am currently a student at NSU. It is a college in Oklahoma, and I'm double majoring in communications and media studies. Actually. I'm a senior this year, so I will be done sooner than later. What else do I do? I'm a photographer. I'm a freelance photographer / videographer. I do small video projects. I'm not very good at video yet, but that's something I want to grow in, and I think these podcasts will definitely help with just interview style videos, and that's just something I will probably get more into as I progress in my photography, videography career. So a little bit about my family, I can tell you guys a little bit about that. I stay in my college town in my own house, and then on the weekends I come home and stay with my mom and my stepdad. Occasionally I'll go visit my brother. He doesn't live too far from my mom, so that's definitely a stop I usually make. My half-brother does not live here, but I see him maybe once or twice a year, unfortunately. But yeah, I have 2 brothers, and they're awesome. I don't really do much else. They're all very older than me, very much older. So I just have to learn to do things on my own, and I'm the only girl in my family, so nobody likes to do girly things like I do. So yeah, sorry if that was a little boring, but I wanted to introduce myself. I know maybe some people watching this don't even know me, or if you think you know me, you may not have known that. So now you guys know a little bit more about my family, or even just what I do. I also work at a gas station. It's called Quick Trip, and I've been there for about 5 years. I forgot to add that in there. I just kind of work 1 day a week while I'm in school. It's not too crazy or demanding, and I really like it. I know what I'm doing. I've been there for 5 years. Nothing really changes, or if it does, everybody's super eager to help me learn, and it's just a great environment. So I've been there for about 5 years. This episode, I kind of wrote up not really a script, but just some talking points that I wanted to hit, just so I'm not just talking about whatever this first episode. I have no idea what I want this podcast to be, let me tell you right now. I think I want to start off with just kind of talking about life and just how weird life is in your 20s, or even just in college in general. It is really, really difficult to feel normal. Sorry, my dog is barking at me. She's mad that I didn't let her outside. To go back a little bit, I had to put my puppy in his crate because he is just not being a good boy today. He is almost 4 months old, and we live on a lot of property. I thought it'd be super fun to do my first podcast out here. There's a big chicken coop behind me. I don't know if you can tell, but there's just chickens and turkeys running around everywhere, and he ran from me, and I was so scared that he was going to run into the woods and I was not going to be able to find him. So I put him in his crate because I don't trust him, and our house is huge, so I feel like he'll pee or poop somewhere, so I don't trust him quite yet. It's really not so much pottying everywhere, it's really just getting into things that he shouldn't, or he finds toys. My mom's dog is a little Shih Tzu, so toys that she plays with are a little too small for him, and he'll try to swallow them. I'm going to let her outside so she stops yelling at me, and I'll be right back. Okay, I let her outside, so hopefully she will stop being crazy. Come here, come sit. I want to be in my video? Come here. Well, if you guys are watching the video portion of this, you can see my dog Paisley. She's just chilling. Oh, never mind, she left me. I'm gonna have to get up and chase her. She does this too. Our neighbor's dog, we have a neighbor on the other side of our property, and they have a big golden doodle that just loves to run and play with her. But it sucks whenever you're the one trying to catch her because she won't come to you. So basically, in this podcast today, I'm going to be talking about what is life in your 20s. What is college life like? What is home life like? I feel like everything is so weird. It's such a big transition period for everybody involved, like your parents, your family, and it's hard to adjust, I feel like, or at least it was for me. So maybe you guys can relate a little bit. Or not. I'm just using you guys as free therapy, but I think it would be beneficial to maybe talk about some of these things. One of the things I wanted to talk about is, why are we in such a big hurry for things? Like, we graduate high school and then we're in such a hurry to either turn 18, turn 21, get this degree, do this and do that. And it's really difficult to enjoy where you're at. I think these are the best, everyone says these are the best times of your life. But any time of your life can be the best part if you just make it the best part. And that's the most difficult thing, is to really enjoy where you're at and be content with your life not being picture perfect or how you intended it to be or what you were anticipating. I've noticed that a lot whenever I'm anticipating something, or I try to like build up these expectations that are unrealistic, and when it happens or when I accomplish that goal, it's not as fulfilling, or I don't know the word for it, but I guess just fulfilling as I thought it was going to be, and it didn't like live up to my expectations. So it was just really difficult to kind of like grasp that concept. And I've been listening to Sadie Crowell's podcast a lot lately. I do not listen to podcasts at all, so that's why I'm totally not gonna be butthurt if nobody listens to my podcast, because I'm a music girl. I love listening to music in my car, and podcasts are just not it for me. Not that they're bad or anything, I just thoroughly enjoy listening to music. I hope y'all can't hear Grey's Anatomy playing in the back. But yeah, I wouldn't be butthurt if nobody listens to this podcast. It's really just a fun thing for me and a way for me to venture out. But also, in Sadie Crowell's podcast, she was just talking about who gives a fuck. I mean, literally, who cares what you do? If I put this out and I have 10 haters out of it, literally, who cares? I'm going to keep making them, and I'm going to keep trying. I mean, that's my whole goal, is to just be happy with whatever I'm doing. And even if people are not happy with what I do or satisfied with the way I live my life, I have to learn to just overcome that. Literally, who cares? There was something that I wrote down in my notes that I've just been literally telling myself all week and all my friends. The time will pass anyways. I saw this on TikTok one day, and it's just a great reminder of like, no matter what you do with your time, the time will pass anyways. And I was like, that is crazy. That is so true. Because you can sit here and just think about your memories and reminisce and be like, this was such a good time in my life, but then you're just missing like what's going on right in front of you. Or if you're using your time, sorry if y'all can hear that. If you were using your time to just be looking forward to the future, or just not being content with where you're at and just looking forward to something, or I'll be in a much better place once I graduate college. Once I graduate college, I'll be happier. The time is going to pass anyways. So like, make the most of the time that you have, or the time I'm going to be spending until I graduate college. So it's October 20th right now. I graduate in May, and that's still quite a ways away. I mean, it's closer in retrospect, but it's a long ways away, because that's so many days and so many months, and that is so many opportunities for me to like live great days and just have a really fulfilling life just until I graduate. And it's just been a nice little mindset change for me, because it helps me get up in the morning. I used to have a lot of anxiety getting up in the mornings. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just anticipation for the day, or just scared that I wasn't going to get enough sleep to like function. I don't know. But since I got my puppy, I literally stopped doing that. This is kind of TMI maybe, so sorry if this grosses you out, but I would wake up every morning and like throw up bile. Like, it was just stomach acid, and it was so gross, but I was so nauseous all day until I did. And this went on for probably close to a year. I was on some medication to hopefully like alleviate some of it. It would work sometimes. I had a couple friends who had Zofran, magical. Put it under your tongue and you're not nauseous anymore. But I finally got over that. I got my puppy. I don't know what it was. Maybe he's just like a great emotional support animal, but he wakes me up at 7 in the morning every day. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I get up at 8:30. But I think it has given me a new perspective on life. I live just to keep him alive is kind of where I started with that. I'm living every day to like take care of this animal. And now it's just like, I get to wake up and I get to enjoy my mornings, and I have a morning routine now. And it's great, because those days where I was like feeling sick in the morning, I would wake up and just dread the day, because I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get ready before class, because I would be throwing up until like the last minute before I had to leave, before I'd be late for class. So it's just like a nice little mindset change. And I don't know if it was that did it or what. I cut a lot of things out of my diet and trying not to eat super late. So like, obviously there's other things that factor into it, but I think a lot of it is just mindset. Anxiety, you can't help anxiety, but I think trying to change your mindset a little bit helps a lot, for me because I was able to get off my anxiety medication, and I thoroughly enjoy it because I don't feel like I'm only normal when I'm on it. So I think that's just like a nice little thing that I learned is the time is going to pass anyways. So also don't beat yourself up over it. If you're not doing anything productive, the time will pass. So if you're doing things productive or not, living your best life, or you're waiting to live your best life, the time will pass. But you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So there's no point of dreading every day or not trying to make the best out of what you're doing with your life. You're on your own time. You are on your own path. No matter what you do or what you see other people doing, it's not what you're going to be doing. That is the biggest realization for me. Like that photographer friend I was talking about, how they're interviewing and doing some crazy freelance shit. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's not me. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be doing the same exact thing. I will not be making the same friends and connections that they will be doing. Unfortunately, it would be really nice, to have all the connections he does, but I'm on my own time. If that happens with me, then it will in its own due time, but I just have to be comfortable with where I'm at. I'm on my own time. A lot of people I know didn't even go to college, and here I am graduating with 2 degrees. So their timeline is obviously going to look a lot different because they probably looked for work right outside of like school, things like that, and I went to college instead of just finding work after graduating high school. Everybody's life looks different. You cross paths with people and you're meant to meet up with people for certain periods of your life, but everybody's on their own track and they're going to be doing what, I don't know, I sound cheesy when I say this, so I don't even want to finish my sentence, but yeah. Also, just be confident in whatever you do. That is something I've been telling myself too. I'm trying to be confident in everything that I'm doing lately. That is another little mindset change that I have. Not letting what other people think get to you, or just the anticipation of what people think. I've been trying not to let the anticipation of what people think or what people think influence my opinion or my actions. If this podcast is absolutely terrible, who cares? I'm just going to be confident in it. I'm excited to do it. It's a great opportunity for me to practice on myself in front of a camera. I'm not very comfortable, but I would just love to grow and experience it maybe once. Even if I hate it, I can return the mic or anything like that. But I'm attempting to be confident, and I'm going to try. And I really want this to continue to be a thing because I love talking. I literally love talking, if you cannot tell already. I like to think I'm funny sometimes, so maybe you'll get a good laugh here and there. So you can't really tell what's going on in the background, but I'm staring at Tina the turkey and 3 of my chickens right now. Tina's trying to flog them. When the chickens go out and chase her, she'll sit there and she'll spread her wings really big and try to flog them because she's so fat she cannot run away from the chickens. She can run, but not fast, like at all. So she has to try to scare them away from her. Country living. Also, if you're on the video version, I'm so sorry you can see that box. I tried moving it, but it's really heavy and it's falling apart. It has all of our burn trash in it. You can't tell, but there's a huge burn pile over there. Whenever it's not windy, we burn it at night, and it's really fun. Maybe I'm a pyromaniac, I don't know. Another thing that I wanted to touch on and that I've been kind of using as my motto is just, who fucking cares? Literally, who cares? Like I was saying, you are on your own time, and you are the only person in control of the direction your life is going to take. So keep trying with whatever you do. Even if you suck, literally keep trying. This is another thing that I was influenced by Sadie, because she was just like, even if it's terrible, just keep doing it. You can just keep trying. That's all you can do. And that's pretty much life. I mean, nobody is good at life or just anything. I don't know. We're all experiencing this for the first time. So if you make mistakes, that's kind of the whole point. And make mistakes, mess up, keep trying. And then maybe one day you're never going to be perfect, but you're going to know your weaknesses and how to overcome failure, or maybe just not being satisfied with things that you're doing. And I think it's definitely a character growth moment if you are able to just keep trying and persevere even if you think you suck. Also, there's a mosquito on me. It is 9 a.m. Why are there mosquitoes out? That is so gross. It's on my hand. That's disgusting. Sorry about that. Everybody's on their own time. We're all doing life for the first time. We're all experiencing things for the first time. you can't be too hard on yourself. If you are, you're just not going to enjoy life. And I did that to myself for so long. I am so hard on myself. Like, if you know me personally, you know that every interaction is overanalyzed, and I try to read people or the situations too much. Like, I just try to, like, please everybody around me. I'm a people pleaser, but at the same time, I'm, like, a big advocate in, like, expressing your feelings and, you know, letting people know how you feel in a positive, constructive way, I guess is the best way to put it. So it's just kind of a hard balance to have sometimes, but that's something that I'm working on. I'm not perfect as well, never claimed to be, but I'm working on it, and that's just a good reminder, I think. I know a lot of girls are on social media all the time, or TikTok, Instagram, I guess that's still social media, but they're just comparing themselves constantly, or whether it's physically or emotionally, or like, I wish I had what she had, I wish I looked the way she did, I wish I could dance the way she did. Social media is so toxic, because obviously everything is fake. Maybe that's a hot take, but for the most part, social media is fake. People get paid to do this. People get paid to look and appear a certain way on the screen, and that contributes so much to, like, all of our mental health issues, because you are constantly consuming and seeing what everybody's doing all the time, and it is so hard to be content with, like, what you're doing when you see people in, like, the Bahamas or, like, Ibiza, or just traveling the world and getting paid to do it. Like, I would love to do that, but if the more I look at it and the more I try to, like, read into it, the more I'm going to be like, wow, my life really sucks, because they're able to do all of these things and they don't have to worry about XYZ. But we're not friends with them. We don't know these people. We don't know the things they're going through, or, you know, the things they face day to day. Social media is so toxic for our mental health. Let me just get into this, because I have very strong opinions about it. I am a social media junkie. I love it, but at the same time, I use it for my business. I use it to promote my photography, and attempt to promote myself, things like that, my business, just to grow it. I don't have a lot of followers, but that's okay, because I'm content with where I'm at. I know that if I had thousands of followers, that I would be so busy. I would have so much to take care of. I would have to, like, think about posting all the time, every day, and that is just not a point in my life where I want to be at, just being responsible for all of those things. Another thing I want to touch on, I forgot to mention this earlier, but whenever I was talking about keep going, even if you suck, just keep trying, keep producing. That's literally how I feel with my photography. I have been looking at my page and I see some great sessions I've done, and then I, like, scroll up to the more recent and I'm like, wow, these kind of not were my favorite. And then I keep going. It's hit or miss with how I feel about my photography, because I don't have a set editing style. I don't have consistent anything. I'll just say that. I'm great at taking a picture, but the way I edit is different almost every time. I try to edit according to the situation and, like, the vibes. Like concerts, I'm not going to edit light and airy like I do portraits type of thing. And it's really hard for me too, because a lot of people that I know that do photography, they're set on, like, one type of thing. They do, like, photography, or they do weddings, couples, things like that. I do everything. I do event photography. I do concerts. I do portraits. I do family pictures. I just did an engagement session the other day. Like, it's so across the board. It is so difficult, which it shows that I'm very versatile. But for me, looking at my page, I'm not satisfied with what I see, because everything is so different. But even if it sucks, even if in my opinion it doesn't look good, I'm just going to keep trying anyways. I can only get better from here. The more I apply myself, the more I use my resources and try to learn things, I'm just going to get better at my craft, and I'm just going to perfect it over time. So I just have to wait it out, be on my journey, be on my path, and it will come eventually to me. I think after I graduate, I'll want to dive more into photography now that I won't be in two different places. That's also what's really difficult, is being torn between two towns that are, like, an hour-ish away from each other. So, like, when I have a shoot in one, I'm in the other spot, and I have to, like, go back and forth between the two places, and it's just not fun for me. I have classes the next day. Like, things like that really hinder me from wanting to do things, because who wants to go to class all day, drive an hour to a town, do a photo shoot, drive an hour back? Like, that's just not fun. And people don't like paying for photography. I have lowered my prices, because people just keep not like denying me, but they're like, oh, that's too expensive. But I'm like, my camera was $3,000. So I've had to like lower my prices a little bit, and I really hate it, but you got to do what you got to do. I don't add travel fees in there, which I probably should, but I think that would deter a lot of people. So unfortunately, I have to lesser my value just to get business. But that is also why I have 2 other jobs. I work for the university that I'm at. I'm a university photographer, and then I'm at Quick Trip. So if I need money, I just pick up a shift here and there, and it'll all be okay. Life will be fine. So to conclude this first podcast, I just wanted to let you guys know that it is normal to just feel not normal in your 20s. You are away from home, in your home sometimes, or say you just graduated high school and you went straight to work and you just are feeling displaced. I don't know. I just wanted to offer some type of solidarity with you guys, or a safe space where you guys kind of feel the same way, and just try not to worry about the future and worry about what people think. You are on your own path, and even if you suck at what you do, keep trying, keep creating, keep doing what you're doing, and the time will pass anyways. It will pass anyways. So whether it's good or bad, it's just going to keep going. But you're also not promised tomorrow. So take advantage of the days that you have and just try to enjoy where you're at in life. It's really hard when you're in your early 20s because we're just in a weird phase. Like, we're not quite old, but we're not young. People still think we're kids, but at the same time, like, you're an adult. You should know what you're doing. So I don't know. It's just a weird stage of life. And I'm hoping that in this podcast, I can just talk about the weird stage of life with you guys and just some crazy things that happened during this period of life. All the chickens are coming to roost on the porch, so I am going to end this podcast here. I want to thank you guys for listening, and let me know if you want me to do another one. I'm probably going to do one anyways, but it would be nice if you told me that you wanted to hear from me again. I hope you guys have a great week or month or however long it is till the next time I talk to you guys. See you all later. Bye.